I will never be the woman with the perfect hair who can wear white and not spoil on it. And that's actually a fact, by the way.
Welcome back to Revirginized.
So today we're going to be reviewing season 3, episode 8. I'm Candice B.
And I'm Jay like the letter.
And just like that, this episode was boring. Like, utterly boring. And
You
Jay,
texted me that.
I texted you that, right? Because I was like, what am I watching? Like, what? Okay, so let's get into it, right? Let's dive into it. So we all know that Carrie, she likes Duncan Hines, right? And she now has carpet all over the stairs for none other than Duncan. Aiden is coming to spend time with her. Wyatt is still crashing out, which means now he wants to live with his mother, and Aiden has more free time to live and be with Carrie.
Yeah.
What on earth can go wrong, Jay? Everything we wanted. What on earth can go wrong?
So we actually made these predictions 2 episodes ago where we were predicting about whether Carrie and Aiden would end up with each other at the end of the season. And we were talking about how I said the only way that could happen if it's Wyatt was no longer in Aiden's space. Remember, we were talking about that
Yes,
on the main
Whitey
episode, and then
Wyatt.
we talked about that in the after show as well. And I feel like this is the writer's way of eliminating Wyatt from Aiden's space to make him like a child at distance. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'll pay child support or something like that. I don't know how that works, but I think this is the way of eliminating Wyatt from that narrative so that they can bring Aiden closer to Carrie.
Which I love, right? I think we needed to see something like that. And by the way, before I continue, like these writers, they cannot write for kids. Like there's so many ways that they could have incorporated his kids and all the kids on the show, and they just do a horrible job.
Yeah.
But moving forward, yes, that's what we wanted. But now it still feels like you guys just don't know what to do. Like we're in this weird space.
Yeah.
Like on one hand, I've always loved this about Aiden. Aiden is very accepting, even of Carrie, right? Because any other person would be like, the fuck do you mean you're spending time with your neighbor? And you're writing, like, you can't write at home and just email him the copy of the pages. You guys have to go to lunch, right? But we don't get that. We get classic Aiden. So I love that they're still writing him in ways that make him feel familiar. But then what happens to the rest of the episode? It's just boring. It's just boring. He can get a little jealous, right? Like he's a little jealous. Like he's calling him Dunkin' Donut. So now he's Duncan Hines, Dunkin' Donut.
My God.
And he wants to meet Mr. Dunkin' Donut. And he's like asking Seema, God, a disaster. He's asking Seema, like, how is he? How's the downstairs neighbor? But it's like, the episode is just boring. Like, it's just boring.
I can understand why the episode can be called boring. So when you texted me it was boring, I started thinking of, was it boring for me too? And I think I called it a palate cleanser. I was more feeling like, okay, this episode did not have a lot. It didn't really have much. But it felt like they built this episode more in continuation to the last episode rather than an episode of its own, because this episode we got to see Harry after his surgery, which we called it. We said they weren't even going to give us the space of him suffering through this situation. It was just going to be him in a bed after surgery. We literally said this episodes ago, and we get a little bit of the flirting and the romance that Lisa has with her producer. We're seeing Miranda with her at work a little bit. We're getting glimpses of everything, but the episode was very much built on Aiden's jealousy of Duncan as it pertains to Carrie.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing is, like, I love that we get to see, I love that the characters are being themselves, right? Like, I love that we're seeing classic Carrie, we're seeing classic Miranda, hot ass mess, classic Charlotte, classic Aiden. But I just feel like they didn't have much story. Like, I wanted them to not go too much in with the jealousy, because then that wouldn't be really Aiden. But I wanted to at least see Duncan, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think they did do a lot with the jealousy?
I think they did enough with the jealousy, right?
because it felt like it wrote out a little too much. It wrote out a little from the beginning of the episode all the way to the end. We saw it happen. I was like,
Yes, yes, and I think that's what I didn't like because I'm like, if they keep going with this, it's gonna ruin the episode, and then these two are gonna end up fighting, right? And then it's gonna be something that it didn't need to be. So I think I was happy when they cut it, and I was happy that the way they made Aiden. They didn't make him too jealous. They made him enough, and he knew when to let it go. But I'm like, okay, but where's the rest of the episode? Where's her and Aiden at dinner talking about Wyatt and his craziness? Like where's Harry besides just in the bag because he can't get up to fucking pee?
yeah,
Like
you
where
wanted context.
I wanted context, and I don't think we got that. And I was even the moving along in this episode, we see a lot of Miranda dealing with like her sobriety issues because she was an alcoholic that they also never talked to us about. They made
Yeah,
her one overnight.
yeah,
And then I'm like, oh, great. She can have this conversation with her girlfriend. Like the girls were saying, talk to her about it. Nothing. She just takes a bottle of expensive liquor that her girlfriend got and she just throws it out because she's
she
trying
could
to
have
drink.
regifted it.
She could have, or that would have been the perfect time to have that conversation. Because for those of you who didn't watch the episode yet, or you did, like she's questioning, like, am I really an alcoholic, right? Or did I just think I was because I was unhappy in my marriage and I was drinking excessively because of that, right?
Yeah,
So what I would have wanted to see was don't throw that expensive ass bottle of liquor on, right? That's a once in a lifetime. We bought white Hennessy before. Like that's a once
girl.
in a lifetime. Like you don't do that. Like that's so I felt like you're gonna sat her down and you're gonna be like, Joy, I need to be very honest with you. I know I said I would be okay with it, but I'm not. Here's why. Context.
Yeah, that would have been a nice conversation to go into depth, and it would have given us a conversation more in depth about the situation because it was. I think you mentioned Miranda's alcoholism a few episodes ago and how we really just did not ever get a resolution for it. And I think they just brought it back to make it like, oh, she's still a recovering alcoholic or whatever, but there was no resonance with it. Yeah, there
No.
was no depth with it. Oh my god, I hate that I'm going to say this, but I am a little more forgiving of this episode because they did some good stuff in the past 7 episodes that I feel like this episode is more like, okay, we're about to give you the last four. So we're gonna bridge this with a slow, movement towards whatever's next. Harry had his surgery. Miranda's established in her relationship. Nothing else is really going on with Charlotte. Anthony's mother-in-law still in town and Carrie's trying to just figure out the Aiden situation as she has been since last season, girl. I think this episode beat a lot of dead horses. It was it was very much in that space, but I wasn't angry at the episode. It wasn't. I didn't necessarily enjoy watching the episode, but it was one of those. Okay, I can watch this from bed before I go to sleep.
Yes. Like don't get me wrong. I didn't hate it, but it was just like it was like when it ended, I was like, wait, that's it? Like, and not even like I needed more drama or anything, just a little bit more creative, like just a little bit more juice, more context.
I get
And
it.
like, I feel like we finally, or wait, let me backtrack there.
Mm,
Not only more context, but make this make sense. Okay? That's also what I didn't like. I really didn't like that. We get Seema on screen and I'm annoyed. The sex scene just sent me to Jupiter. I hated it. And then he's like sniffing her armpits.
girl.
And then we get beautiful Seema again back in the frame. And the conversation is like, well, I don't wear deodorant. Of course we don't. We knew you were a hippie when you were introduced. I knew you was a hippie, but bigger than this, why is this conversation happening right now?
Yeah, I think I watched the SEMA sex scene was for me shot poorly and it didn't even feel rehearsed. It felt like they were told, "Oh, get in bed and pretend like you're having sex." And they were like, "Okay, what happened before? What's going to happen after?" Like there was no they didn't give them anything of that. And watching it I was like, "This is not the type of sex scene that we need to be." watching. Like it just felt like very like thrown into the episode in some way, and that's kind of how I felt with the Aiden and Carrie situation in the early episodes of the season. But I don't know where they're taking it. I feel like this episode was very much built like, oh well, they bought 12 episodes, so we got to give them 12 episodes. So they were just like fill it in with something. But yeah, I called it a palate cleanser because Lord knows what they're giving us in the next 4 episodes. I don't know. I don't know where they're going.
A disaster. They're going to give us a disaster.
And
And
if
it's like,
they're going to where Lisa cheats on Herbert, I'm sorry, fuck you.
no, seriously, seriously. And I will ask them on that because I, I know Lisa needed a bit of a shake, but you guys got to put some respect on our girl.
It's not
First of
even a
all,
shade.
no, it's an earthquake, and we're not looking for that kind of shake. I just want a little razzle. I don't want you to razzle and dazzle, right?
Yeah.
And so I need them to start doing her justice because one, I don't want her to cheat with this guy. This guy,
No.
it's something about him. He just gives me the ick. Like he's a beautiful man to look at, but I'm
It's
done.
not
Like,
the character, it's the actor. I'm telling you, I said it when in his first episode. It wasn't the character. The actor just has that thing.
yes, I don't like it. He's annoying. He's annoying to me. And if it turns out that he like lives a double life or whatever, like I'm not gonna be surprised.
No.
And I just don't know. Like I hate it. Number one, you're doing her a poor job. Number two, that jacket that she wore, that Mets wannabe Knicks jacket, that orange and blue. What the I who, look, I'm gonna say this. I need Patricia Field to come back from her hiatus. They need to sign a contract with her because sometimes you guys make my girl look really good, and sometimes you make her look like trash. Down to even like the wig. Like, is that a wig that she's wearing? That
Yes, of course.
like why? Like I need you guys to put more respect on LCW's character because I'm getting upset. And then on top of that, like what's going on with the writing? Her dad died twice. Her dad died in the first season, and now he died again officially this season. Like they need to just figure it out with her. But
I,
anyway,
I go back when it comes to Lisa. I go back to this is what you get when disconnected white people write black characters. It's very much that. And I know some people that's like, oh, it ain't got nothing to do with race. It does. Because when you're unaware about the surroundings of the person as it pertains to their experience and how they live in culture because of their race, if you don't know any of it, you're not going to be able to depict it well. You're not going to be able to put it on paper and it looks, oh, this is so real. This looks how it's supposed to look. No, it even the lives that these ladies are living, which goes back to our critiques from the very beginning of the season, the lives that these ladies are living feels very much unlived. Like it feels like they're following these 30-something-year-old girls and saying, oh, we're gonna write that onto 60-something-year-old girl women. And it's like, but how are you gonna translate that onto their lifestyles? And they clearly don't care to do that.
no, they don't. And I'm starting to feel like now you guys are just wasting precious airtime. Like, what was LTW's role in this episode? And now, granted, some characters are going to have more screen time than others, right? I get it. But it just seems like you guys have no idea what you want to do with them, right? Kind of like with Seema. You're just ruining her character to me. Like, I'm happy that she's finding love, and I'm
Hmm.
happy if she's happy. I love it if you love it, but it just doesn't seem right. Like, it just doesn't seem like you're giving us much. There was not much with LTW this episode, except for like, she's lusting over him, and we see
Yeah.
that she goes to like his whatever. That's how boring he
The
is.
event, yeah, the event, but he presented an opportunity for her, and she's disturbed by how she's feeling towards how seeing him, right? And she's more like, well, I'm married, I'm not supposed to be looking at him this way. And she's trying to justify it with Charlotte, but it's at the same time, she's like, well, it's work, it's flirting at work. I'm not supposed to be doing this, but this is how I feel. And so she kind of jeopardizes her job over it. She leaves the event because she's feeling so sexually attracted to him. I don't know. I don't know that Lisa. feels like somebody that would just back out of something. I feel like Lisa would handle that head first.
I think you're right, and that's what I want to see more of. And don't get me
Mhm.
wrong, like I love the little twist, right? Because these are real things that happen. You know, you have a work husband, you find him attractive, blah blah blah. But I don't trust the writers enough to not ruin it. Right? Like
Mm,
I don't trust the writers enough to not know when to stop. And
yeah.
granted, I did say earlier in the season that I do think that she might have an affair and maybe her and Herbert need a little bit of a shake, but just shake it the right way. They'll
Yeah, don't take it all the way or anything like that.
Yeah. And then it even brings me into Charlotte too. Like I want a little more, right? Like in this episode, we do see that she's catering to Harry. Harry's bedridden, but okay, and what else? Like I do see I love that she is doing her like gallery stuff and she's back in business because I feel like in every back in the day OG series Sex and the City, we're always at a Charlotte event. She's always putting on an event. She always got something great happening. So I love to see it, but it also just like I don't know, it just didn't seem like there was much to her this episode. Like aside from her vertigo acting up and her falling on a bed with semen.
Yeah,
Wait, was
that
that
was
real
weird.
semen? Was that real semen? No.
Yeah, that was real. Yeah, that was real semen. So the artist sent a bottle of semen and said how much to put in the condom.
Yeah, yeah. It's just
I'm telling you, they're just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. So that we've had lesbian sexual nuns, we've had babysitters to flirt with, we've had cheating possibilities, we've had a gardener flirting, we've had coworker, we've had every single thing you could possibly imagine. We've had cancer, we've had alcoholism, we've had everything. So at this point, they're just like, how much else can we throw in? We're gonna have for the next 4 episodes, we're gonna have gonorrhea, syphilis. We're gonna have that
yes.
condom that Charlotte touch is gonna give her syphilis. She's gonna end up at a clinic. She's gonna have to take a pill, and then it's gonna be a whole situation. They're just gonna do everything and try anything.
But you know what pisses me off is how is this show much longer in length than the original series, but we have no
Mm,
context. We've had everything hit us except for common sense. Like
yeah,
everything has struck us, but anything making sense. And the thing is, like, the actors work beautifully together. Like that, Aiden and Carrie, that banter that they have unmatched. Like
yeah,
they joke well, everything like the fighting between Carrie and Miranda, believable, right? Like you guys are so great on screen, but none of this is making sense. And I want to hear from the audience too, because I like, what are you guys making from this episode besides, pissing people off on the great state of Reddit? And
yeah,
it's like, I don't, and at this point, I think like we're all just mad to be mad. We're watching this show angry,
yeah.
and now we're mad at everything. Sometimes I open Reddit and they're mad just because Carrie's screen is like on the frame. And it's like, oh my god, look at her face on the frame. Like, who approved this? Like, who didn't say cut?
But they'll still watch it. Is the thing. They'll still watch it.
Because we love to hate it. And so it's like, okay, what else did this episode give us? But so, oh my god, and even Harry being a little uppity because I knew I was forgetting something. Lisa bought him nuts.
Oh, yeah, okay, he couldn't talk about his inflated testicles.
Yes, and he almost ripped her a new one, and then thank God Charlotte caught it. But it's like okay, to go back, you're giving us all the great things we love to see. Bitch ass whiny ass Wyatt is out of the picture. Aiden and Carrie are bantering nicely. The little jealousy, of course, which hopefully doesn't blow up into anything bigger. We
I
see
think it will.
Miranda.
I think it will.
It will. Miranda and her little her girlfriend with the alcoholism because she's throwing away an expensive ass bottle because she has no chill. No chill. Let's see. We have LTW lusting. We have all these things, but it's too fast. It's too fast. Like slow it down a bit, and let's talk about it. Let's see what are the results from Harry. You're home. Okay, when do you get your results back? What did they do? Did they find any more cancer? Like what's happening there?
Yeah.
Right? Like
I also well, let me ask you this because when Giuseppe's mom came to visit, she said she was going to stay in New York, right? Like she was going to move to New York. So she's going to be in New York. She's going to be a part of this whole thing, the entirety of the season. I'm assuming because I was trying to figure out how much time has passed. I was thinking the surgery already happened. Aiden all of a sudden visited because we didn't know that Aiden was visiting her, right? Last episode, we had no idea
No.
that he was coming. So all of this happened. It's an ambiguous time range that happens in between episodes. There's been episodes where one day passes, there's been episodes where a week or two have passed. Yeah, it's very much like even when nothing happens in the episodes, it's like too much happens. This episode didn't give us much for stories, but there was so much going on. The alcoholism, the surgery, all of it was all in one episode, but we didn't get any of it.
Yes, and that's the thing. We're not getting any of it, and it's like what are we even recapping? Like, what are we saying? What are we talking
Hmm.
about? We're on
Yeah,
air
no, I
talking.
understand it. I understand. I think now we're in the space where we have 4 episodes left. Let's see how they can deliver. Let's see how in a third season they can close the story out. And I'm assuming that around episode 11, probably after episode 10, episode 11, they're going to start talks about whether or not they're coming back for the fourth season, whether or not this is probably going to be the end of the season, or Sarah Jessica Parker is going to come up with some crazy things to say about, oh, we're talking about another movie or something like that. But there's going to be an announcement. It happened after the first season and it happened after the second one during that same time. I am assuming that they're going to say something in regards to how they're going to close this out during that time. And if they really want to write this out, they're going to have to get creative because I can say right now we're hate watching season 3. No one's gonna watch season 4.
I think that they could salvage this, and you know how I think they can salvage this? You'd have to bring Samantha back. You'd have to bring Samantha back, all for Kim Cattrall, all the money in the world, along with an apology, right? Because she deserves one. And I think that, I think that's going to be a way for them to save the series because I don't see them wanting to, I don't see them not getting greenlit for season 4. They're going to
Agreed.
they're
Agreed.
going to get greenlit for it. And we might hate watch, but the show's going to do even worse than what it's doing right now. Now, here's what we do know. And I know, fans and ask for this part, but like what we do know is that there's no context. We're getting hit with a lot of things, but like time is passing, but we don't know what's happening in that time. And it's too much. Like it's too little bit, but too much at the same time. So say that to say it's just all over the place, right? They need to slow down. And I hope MPK can do that next season where you can actually slow time down a bit to give us things that make sense. And I think if he can do that, along with bring back Kim, I think the show can be saved. I really do.
Yes, I absolutely agree.
Because the thing is, you brought in these beautiful characters that we love. We know that they can't always have airtime, right? Because it has to be divided equally. Um,
Yeah, I don't know how I don't know how equal it is.
right? But you don't give us enough with them. Like now that we're finally seeing Seema be happy,
Mm,
like, did we really get to see her be happy? Or did that just happen like this and all of a sudden they go out to dinners and we still know nothing about them except he
yeah,
wears no it, right? Like they just need to they just need to actually write. Like like write. Like
yeah,
deliver something for us. So
I
I don't
completely
know.
agree.
And because they don't, she's not, we still feel the loss of Samantha. That's what I was saying, like going with that. Like, because
Mm.
she's not giving us enough, the loss of her still feels very big.
Well, the reality of going into and just like that in general is that you stripped her off the man that built so much of the person that we've ended up knowing and being attached to, and then you stripped her of a friend that built so much of the character and helped form so much of Carrie. So you take Mr. Big out and you take Samantha out. That's a big chunk of Carrie. So we now have to get to know a different Carrie, and not only get to know a different Carrie, but get to know a different Carrie in the same space. Just a continuation of the stories that she's already lived, and we are not being helped to do that. It's just, oh, here it is. Here you have it. Make your own judgment. And I don't think that helped in any way. So going 1, 2, 3 seasons without adding Samantha back. It's like, do a pause until you can get her back. I would rather wait 2 years for the next season and them bring back Samantha than get a next season and them just try to shuffle cards to see what they get at the end.
No, absolutely. And then also too, my thing is if you're really talking to Samantha, show us that. You're showing us like one line. No, they're all one-liners, right? But you're not giving us to what extent you're talking to her. To like, oh yeah, I spoke
Yeah,
to
give us a call, give us a phone call.
right. What was the conversation then? What, pray
Hmm.
tell, what did she say on the phone? Right?
Yeah.
What was the thread about? Like, so I just, I don't know. I guess to stay on topic and not talk way too much, I feel like this episode was lacking. It had potential. It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't giving. And
Yeah.
hopefully it is a palate cleanser in the sense of like, okay, now we went neutral. Okay, give us something big on episode 9. Like let's really, let's grind.
My God. What's his name? Victor. Is his name Victor Garber?
Who? Duncan
The
Hines?
the no actor from the Titanic that was on this episode that made the cameo at the gallery. I think his name is Victor Garber. Oh my God.
I'm
I
not
hope
sure.
he's oh my God. Wait, I need his name.
Where's my
He made a
phone?
cameo. He made a cameo in this episode. And as soon as he showed up, I was like, this, yeah, Victor Garber. He is such a big deal. I, again, I go back to what I said last episode where if this is just a parade of cameos from those big names, I'll take it. Because seeing Patty LuPone talk to Victor Garber on edge just like that to me was like, okay, got it. I don't mind the badness of the episode anymore. But if that's all the enjoyment that I'm getting, what's the episode for? And it just breaks my heart to always land there.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's just like the cameos are great, but it's not even like you're really keeping them in, right? Like you gave us Rosie. I love Rosie. You gave us Rosie and then she left. Like, hello. Now you have Patty LuPone, but then one episode, right? Like, did she make an appearance?
Yeah, this
This
episode she was in the gallery with
she
Giuseppe.
did, yes. She made a small appearance, but we're not really getting much of it. And it's like you got these cameos, but the ratings are still like on the floor
Yeah.
because you're
I
not using them.
I am with you on all of it. Honestly, when it comes to this episode, I have nothing else to say. I'm just in the hopes that the next 4 episodes just something. Give something. Even if you know what? I think we somewhat hinted at this before, but even if one of the episodes it's just Brady, Lily, Lisa's kids, Rock, just an episode of them, and maybe even integrating Aiden's other son, the one that likes Carrie. Even if the episode
Yes.
is just that, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yes. Give us more interaction. Like, first of all, these kids are together. Like, they hang out together. Like, give us more. If Lily's not pregnant by the end of this season,
You're wild. You're
I'm going to
wild.
be pissed. Look, predictions. Predictions. All
Oh
right. And I'm going to go back on
no.
mine. No,
Oh
before we
no.
close this out, because this is a crazy recap episode, I must say. Like,
It
what the
is. It
hell did
is.
I even recap?
It
Nothing.
is.
Um, I just talked about my feelings today. That's all I did. I have a prediction. I do think that Carrie and Aiden are going to be fine. I'm going to go back to that. I think by the end of it, they're going to be fine. This is a little bit of good jealousy, but it's like going to shake them up a bit. And then we're going to see
Mm,
that Carrie is actually not going to cheat after all. I feel like they've been giving us a lot of, is it red hearings? Where like we think she's going to do something, but in reality, her heart is still with Aiden,
yeah.
no matter the flirtation, right? So I think they're going to stay together and there might be an engagement. Let's see.
An
I also think
engagement.
that's really far fetched, but whatever. I also think Lily is going to get pregnant. Or, first of all, I'm telling you, Lily is a crazy bitch. She's crazy. I think she's either going to get for real pregnant or she's going to fake a pregnancy because she loves that man. She loves that little boy, that
Girl,
ballet
what
boy.
show are you watching?
The show in my head, the show that I read in my head. She loves this ballet. Diego?
Yeah.
Diego. I also wouldn't mind. Okay, let me stop with the predictions. Let me tell you what I wouldn't mind because my predictions are so far fetched.
Girl.
I wouldn't mind Rock and Lisa's son who I know is going to come out. I wouldn't mind seeing something there.
Yeah, like a bestie situation.
No, I was actually talking about like maybe they like each other situation. And who knows, maybe
Yeah, and he's in the queer space somewhere. Lily and him are friends. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And oh yeah, yeah. That could make sense in some way. I don't know.
they just remind me of like, they like what they like,
Yeah.
and they may wake up and like, hey, I like you, and that's great. I'm all here for it. Like anything to give us juice and context and more story.
Yeah.
But all that talking aside, I'm going to rate this episode a flat 5. And Jay, what are you gonna rate it before we close out?
You're gonna rate it a 5 out of 10, just a flat 5. Okay, yeah. I was gonna rate it a 4.8.
Oh, for a minute I heard 8, and I was about to say he's
No, no,
crazy.
no, no, no. I was gonna rate it at 4.8 because it wasn't a terrible episode. It wasn't a great episode. It just was an unnecessary episode. It was just an episode that had a lot of unnecessariness in it.
It was a filler. It was a
Yeah,
filler.
it was a filler. It was a filler.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. And just like that, this is our crazy ass recap of whatever episode 8 was. Please remember to follow us on all socials. We're on Spotify, Apple, Instagram, Threads,
Christian Mingle, Tinder, Grinder,
everything, Hinge, all of that.
all of it.
And also on YouTube, we're still giving away our giveaway. So all you have to do is follow us everywhere, but
Yes.
subscribe to our YouTube, like the video, and comment. Once again, yes, we will ship worldwide. And some of you guys did have questions about our merch. Yes, our merch is also shipping worldwide on
Yes.
our website, revirginizedpod.com.
Yeah,
We
just
love you
be
guys.
patient. The shop takes forever, but you will get your merch.
And thank you, because some of you guys have been starting to get your merchandise, and we love you for it. Definitely take a picture wearing your merch, because we would love to post you. So, bye for now. Revirginized is a production of J. Breyer Allen, hosted by Candice B., produced and co-hosted by Jay, like the letter.